To be with you tonight as well, and we are going to talk cricket on the show right now, both local and international matters to discuss, but we will start first of all with Fraser and Gordon and the skipper of Pembroke, who is Jack Harries, who is with us because yesterday his team were Allen Brown Cup winners, beating Hundleton by 149 runs in the 2 innings game. Jack, great to have your company tonight. How are you doing after yesterday's win?
Yeah, good. Voice is a little bit husky after last night's celebrations. Yeah,
Sunday finals.
Yeah, it was a cracking day out. Cracking night. Yeah, a few sore heads this morning, but yeah, good day.
That is the thing, isn't it, with the Sunday final? Just before we talk about the game, maybe Fraser or Gordon, for people who are watching from outside of the county, could one of you just explain the Allen Brown Cup format and which sides take part in it and how the final is played?
Well, I've always said it's the Premier Cup competition in Pembrokeshire, actually, Ben, because I've won it. No, yeah, look, it's cracking competition. Actually leads me on to my first question is going to be to Jack. It's the first teams outside the top 2 divisions, so any first team in Division 3, 4, 5 and 6. And to be honest, it's just a cup competition which, lower league sides, want a better team, can compete in, and have something to aim for. Obviously, the chance of the teams in that region winning the Harris and Allen is obviously very low. So it's a great competition and it invigorates interest, to be honest, in those lower divisions. Now, actually, my question I was going to come on to now, Jack, obviously, look, nobody wants to be relegated, of course, and I've actually been in your situation. We've gone down from 2 up. Nobody in cricket wants to be relegated. If I was talking to Pembroke Rugby, that would be a different story, but that's another discussion. But, you guys did go down last year. In a mixed season, to be fair. You went down and actually reached the Dougie Morris final, didn't you?
Yeah.
Way to go. But, in some ways, is really relegation been a chance to take stock and refresh a bit, and obviously you've got an Allen Brown competition, which high chance of you winning. You've gone and done that now. You're in a race to go up, still in second place, still chasing the title. You turn almost relegation to a positive when you go from 2 to 3, do you think?
Yeah, well, obviously last year didn't go to plan. I don't think it was too much down to our cricket. I think there was a lot of availability issues, things like that. But as we've been saying around the club, I'm a firm believer of it. Sometimes you've got to take a step back to go 2 steps forward. Things might have gone a little bit stale on the pitch over the last few years, falling into losing habits. But yeah, it's been quite nice just to drop down, take a bit of pressure off, try and learn how to win again.
And you've recruited well as well, haven't you? Obviously, people like, I'm going to miss a few out now. Obviously, Billy Wood have come over, Kerry Brace has come over in the summer. They boost not just your first team, but perhaps the strength of the overall club, those guys coming in, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Kerry's been a great signing for us. Billy Wood's coming back from the dock. Phil Jones. Yeah. And Gareth Long as well from up in Rhondda. They come down. And yeah, they have made us a stronger side. And it's not just the first team that's strengthened, the second team has strengthened as well. And hopefully in the next few years we'll keep going in the right direction.
Yeah, let's stay on a positive spin. Never mind the relegation. You must have had an excellent day yesterday, Jack. I believe you're man of the match. Can you tell us a little bit about how proceedings went yesterday at Whitland?
Well, won the toss, batted first.
That was a great decision.
Yeah, in the end, I think we would have had a few more sore heads otherwise. But yeah, the pitch was lovely up in Whitland. It was a no-brainer as soon as we got there. Bat first, play to our strengths, put a score on the board, just get off to a good start.
Yeah. How many runs did you get then, Jack? Because obviously you're the notable batsman at Pembroke. So you can crow a little bit now, mate.
Right, okay. I had 87 not out in the first innings.
Brilliant.
And 80 not out in the second.
That's excellent.
Solid.
That's boosted your average for the season now. Excellent.
Yeah.
What's it like, Jack, playing in a 2 innings final then? Does that as a batsman as well to get 2 scores twice and not to be out in both innings? That must have been quite good and quite excellent to play in that format as well.
Yeah, two innings in the finals. Like it seems like a different game, to be honest. There was stages in the first innings when we were defending, we weren't really thinking of taking wickets. It was more just keeping the runs down because, obviously on a Saturday you get points for taking wickets, but you don't achieve anything in a 2 innings final. It's just trying to stay ahead in the game. It's different things to think about, which we learned quite a lot off Neyland last year, playing in the Dougie. Obviously, they're a good side. They've been there and done it for years. So it's nice to pick up tips playing against these better sides that we can use to our advantage.
And Gordon said there, and Fraser as well, you were man of the match, but as skipper, I'm sure there's other members of the side you'd like to pick out as well, because that must have been a team effort to win yesterday.
Yeah. First innings, Sam Davis taking 5 wickets. Obviously in the 20 over game, that's a big achievement, and to do it in a final as well. He hasn't quite been there with his bowling this year. He knows that himself, but the last few weeks he's definitely coming back stronger, back to his best. And I think the biggest one was Gareth Long in the second innings, scoring 92 and 57 balls. That was a pleasure to watch from the other end.
Yeah, the Alan Brown final traditionally clashes with long course weekend. I did actually read I saw you were doing the swim on a Friday night. I wouldn't be risking that on a 2 days after any cricket game. So, did that take it out of you? Did you do the full swim on Friday first, the 2.4 miles?
Yeah, full swim.
2.4 miles. I noticed you took Saturday off.
Yeah.
And were you still feeling the after effects on Sunday? Was there any thought actually that you might even not go through with the swim when you realised what weekend it was?
Oh no! I was always going to do the swim. Obviously, I knew I wasn't playing cricket Saturday. It was actually Billy Wood's wedding. So me and Sam.
It's been a heavy weekend then, Jack.
It was a heavy weekend as well. But yeah,
you were in the drink on Friday and then Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it was a long weekend. I'm feeling it now.
What does it mean to the club though, Jack, to win that? And I'm sure you did celebrate it good and proper yesterday, despite it being a Sunday. You must be proud to captain the team to that cup.
Oh, definitely. Just to win silverware is a breath of fresh air, to be honest. We haven't made many finals over the years, especially the last 20 years. We've been lucky enough the last 2 years now to make it into a final. Picking up silverware yesterday and winning the Indoor League Division 2 earlier in the year as well. So obviously if you win trophies, the morale's going to be better in the club. But yeah, things can't be better at the moment. I'm very happy.
Speaking of silverware, mate, you're obviously second, I believe, not far off Lamptey. Now 7 games to go. Is the intention very much the title, or you just focus on top 2 for now?
They're
watching in Lamptey, man.
I got to be careful what I say now. I played them 2 weeks. No, we want to win the league. That's our intentions. We obviously want to go up, but we want to go up as champions.
And do you think, having won the Alan Brown Cup yesterday, that will continue into the remainder of the league season, Jack? Do you think you'll take some confidence from that?
Yeah, definitely. Again, it depends on availability, but it seems like the boys are very keen. We got a nice group, especially in the first team at the moment. A bit of a settled squad, which is quite nice. And yeah, like the main performers are definitely playing themselves into a bit of form at the moment. I think, I'm quite confident going into the end of the season that we'll put some performances in.
Well, listen, good luck for that. Good luck for the run-in. And again, well done yesterday on winning that cup and the celebrations that followed. And well done on your swim on Friday, actually. We should just ask you, how was that on Friday night? 2.4 miles?
Yeah, it was all right, actually. Not too bad. See, it's a bit different to swimming in a pool, but... yeah,
any reason you're doing that? You're not an Ironman or anything like that?
I am in for Ironman in September. Yes. Yeah.
And how are you feeling about that, Jack?
A little bit nervous, but we'll give it a go. See how it goes, and hopefully get across the finish line at the end of the day.
Good stuff. Well,
good luck with that, Jack.
Yeah, massive good luck with that. And we'll come back to you on Pure West Sport, perhaps in September for that. Listen, we need to talk about what's happened in the Ashes as well. And I think in the company of a cup-winning captain, an experienced local journalist in Gordon Thomas, who's seen many a cricket match, and a wicketkeeper, we are well placed to talk about the Johnny Bairstow dismissal. Fraser, I'm going to come to you first on this because you're a wicketkeeper. Johnny Bairstow was stumped yesterday by Alex Carey, wasn't he? In the rules, but was it against the spirit? And the question for you, Fraser, really is: would you ever dismiss a batsman like that?
Well, when I'm facing a fast bowler, Ben, I'm just hell bent on trying to get my body behind it and stop it, let alone catch it and throw it back in one movement. So it's not an area of expertise for me. Look, I didn't see an issue with it, if I'm honest. I understand why it branches off into areas of debate. I think first and foremost, he left his crease too quickly. I do believe that. I do believe it was naive on his part. And what Alex Carey did, he did in one movement. Now,
he did.
It was only when I saw replays this morning, I perhaps saw potential areas for debate. If you look at it, the square leg umpire is already walking. Bairstow, which I didn't notice at the time, did seem to turn around and tap his bat in almost as if a gesture to say he was in. But I still think, it's basic naivety. And Jack and Gordon and dare say, but cricket youngsters as well will be able to tell you this. It's one of the first things you learn, that you stay in your crease or you wait for the umpire to call over until the ball is officially dead. All right, so I do think it was extreme naivety on Johnny Bairstow's part. I don't think he's got much of a leg to stand on. I understand the arguments around potential spirit of cricket and so on, but it's such a grey area, that as well. I think first and foremost in the situation, Bairstow was at fault with it.
He's not answered the question, has he? Gordon and Jack, I don't know if you noticed. So, as a wicketkeeper, phrase, would you stump someone that way?
Potentially give a warning, perhaps.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Yeah.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I haven't been in the heat of the situation where I've been in that situation. But if I noticed the batsman was wandering out too early, it would certainly come to my attention. Sure.
Yeah, I thought it was quite dopey cricket from Bairstow, really, because he did seem to switch off for that minute, and he seemed to be in a bit of a bubble, didn't he? And didn't seem to realise what was going on. Jack, as a captain, how would you feel if that happened? Would it be territory where you think, well, we should recall the batsman having made the appeal?
There's different things to think about. To be honest, watching it, I'd probably say it was out. I think Bairstow was in the wrong. But I think it'll obviously in the Ashes, it's the heat of the moment. Maybe in local cricket, you would say come back, but then I suppose it depends what teams are playing each other and who the batsman is, and there's different factors to it. But yeah, to be honest, I'd probably stand by the Aussies on this one.
It does seem strange to be actually defending the Aussies, and we'll always criticise them if there's an opportunity to. But I do find it a bit hard on this occasion. Gordon, what was your take?
As Fraser just said, Bairstow was out. He was so naive to move out of his crease the way he did. He just ambled out as if the ball wasn't in play. I mean, got to the wicketkeeper. He noticed that he'd moved and he threw it in one movement. So for me, there was no argument really. I think England were clutching at straws to even argue about it. Having to go at the Australians wasn't the right thing to do, in my opinion. They were quite right to do what they'd done. They haven't broken any law or anything, and England have to suck it up and move on.
So, all right, here's another question. Maybe Fraser, you can come in on this. When does the spirit of cricket matter? Then, do you think it matters in that instance?
It's a complete grey area, isn't it? Does it matter in that instance? It's a competitive sport. They're playing at the very highest level for the ultimate prize between England and Australia. I think it probably needs the spirit discussion thing. Needs a spirit of cricket needs another discussion again, and some kind of ground rules. I don't.
But the rules are there, Fraser. That's the thing.
And you can go back to so many examples as well.
Yeah.
Where do you stop it? Do you go back to Stuart Broad not walking in 2013? Do you go back to Jardine's body line? Do you go back to W.G. Grace using double-sided coins so that England never lost the toss? There's so many areas of potential hypocrisy you can call up.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about the Aussies before we defend them too much, I've been out there in test matches in Australia, lucky enough to see an Ashes tested, and their crowd are merciless, and their players are often merciless as well when it comes to sledging. You could hear the stuff that goes on. To see them getting upset because they were heckled by a few tops in the long run, I found quite extraordinary as well. So, I don't get any sympathy for them having a bit of barracking from the crowd. But as for the incident itself, I don't have an issue with it. And your spirit of cricket question is one I think we could go around in circles, to be honest with you, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think so. And I also do think there's some talk about whether Cummins should have recalled him. For me, it didn't quite fit into that territory. I think it's quite limited where a captain should ask a batsman to come back. I do think as well, if you are a captain and you are appealing, you kind of have to live with the consequences of appealing, really. And if you're appealing for something that's in the law, I'm not sure calling a batsman back afterwards is really in your mandate, really, in your gift to do. It's been given out, it's been stumped, and we move on. And if you get booed, you get booed. And actually, it may fire England up a bit at Headingley as well, because I mean, Stuart Broad was good value, wasn't he, when he was batting? And some of the comments he came out with to Alex Carey, telling him that that's the one thing he'll be remembered for forever. And you think, well, actually, it's kind of part of the rough and tumble of an Ashes series for me. The other one, how about the Mitchell Stark catch on the night before?
I was actually going to ask Jack about that. I wonder if he had the same view as me. My view, whether it's local, international cricket, whatever level, if you're taking a catch as you're sliding and that ball then is dragged along the ground as it clearly was, personally, no, I could tell you straight up I wouldn't claim that as a catch. And if any of my players did that and the ball is clearly dragged along the ground, I wouldn't either. I don't know if Jack has a different view on that.
Yeah, I think it depends how long the ball is in the hands for. I think if it's comfortably in the hands, then I don't see an issue with it. But as you say, he was going down. You see a lot of people take catches as soon as they hit the ground, the ball pops out. That might have happened if he wasn't sliding it across the ground. But obviously, you'll never know. I'd probably say, that. I don't think that was out. No.
Yeah. Well, Stephen Price has said if it had been number 9, 10, or 11, Cummins would have called them back. I don't know really. I don't know whether we can even debate that, because that fact was that wasn't the case, was it? It was Johnny Bairstow. It's and it is a big wicket. I think so, and it will be interesting how England respond. I think in the third test, because it might well galvanise them a bit. Listen, we need to take a moment and keep your comments coming on that, and we'll read some more out in the final part of the show. Jack, once again, congratulations on what you did yesterday for Pembroke, man of the match performance, and Alan Brown Cup winners. Surpass our best onto all the squad. That was a great effort and a really good win yesterday. Well done to you on that. Well done on long course as well, and good luck for Ironman in September. You've got a few months.
Thank you very much. It's nice to come on.
You've got a few months of training ahead of you then, ready for September the 9th.
Yeah,
so I hope
last minute training methods.
We'll look forward to hearing how you go, and we'll follow your progress. Thank you very much. We're going to have a quick break, and we'll come back for the final part of tonight's Pure West Sport next.
Join us for our very first Saunders Fest.